Hey guys, Rephix, and welcome back to another video. This is a little bit of a different video because I usually do live commentaries, and I'm recording this commentary even before I get whatever gameplay is going to be behind it, because I feel like it would be easier to talk about rather than just kind of playing the game, stuff like that. At the same time, while trying to talk, it would just be a lot easier just to talk me to camera. So let's get right into it. So you guys know about World War II. It is the new Call of Duty coming out here in 2017, made by Sledgehammer, and this video is basically going to be dedicated to 3 things that are in World War II that will change Call of Duty forever as a franchise in a whole. Now, there is no guarantee that these things will change Call of Duty in general as a whole. I'm just saying these things have a very good chance at changing the future of Call of Duty, what Treyarch and Infinity Ward do with their next games. Now, I'm also not going to have any World War II gameplay in this video, mainly because I don't want to rip someone else's gameplay off of YouTube. I don't want to use someone else's content that I don't have permission to use. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just give it a quick search on YouTube. You'll be able to find what I'm talking about and get a good idea of what I mean. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So number 1, we have removable attachments. Now, I'm sure most of you guys have seen gameplay of World War II already, and you've seen people run around with like an MP40 or something and throw a silencer on it mid-game, or take the suppressor off mid-game, you know, vice versa. You're able to remove and put on the attachment in the middle of a game without changing the class. Now, personally, I think this is a great addition to the functionality of multiplayer. It's very unique. We've never really seen anything like this. The closest thing we've seen to this is like a hybrid sight where you would have like a normal red dot, click right on D-pad or something, and it would flip up like a magnifying lens or whatever in front of the red dot, and you'd be able to zoom in a little bit more. That is the closest thing we've ever come to a removable attachment. I feel like this opens a lot of doors for future Call of Duty games, knowing that probably the next few games are going to be boots on the ground, which is fantastic because no one likes all the jumping around and everything. It's so dumb. So stupid. Sledgehammer screwed up Call of Duty, and now they're redeeming themselves with an instant classic Call of Duty, which I'm extremely hyped about. But anyway, back on track. If you're running around, you know, and you want more accuracy, like if you see someone like off in the distance, right? You see an enemy really far away, and you know your gun is too inaccurate at that range to be able to hit them. Well, you could probably hit them, but it would be a lot harder to do without your foregrip. Now, same thing as the suppressor. You could click a button on your D-pad, slip on a foregrip on the front of your gun, and be able to reach that enemy. Now, not only the foregrip and silencer, there are many things that I think we'll be able to do in the next few Call of Duties. I think after World War II, we will have a flashlight attachment on our gun, which will have the ability to kind of semi-blind whoever we're pointing it at in-game. And it would be really, really cool if we could either slip that on the gun or click a button and turn that on. Like I said, this opens a lot of doors for attachments on guns and stuff like that in class customization. There is so much you can actually do with just removing an attachment mid-game. You could, for example, if you're running a sniper rifle in-game, if you're running iron sights on it, you could throw on a scope real quick if you need it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of that little lifeline that you could have in-game. Personally, I think it would be really, really cool. It would look really cool in trick shots and stuff. Not that that's even relevant in Call of Duty anymore because, you know, clip of the game. But that's besides the fact. I think it would look really cool in trick shots. That's not the only reason why I think we should have more detachable and attachable attachments. I just think it would be really, really cool in a whole, and I could see this going way into the future of Call of Duty. Like, just, I feel like this could end up being a staple in Call of Duty. Alright, moving on to number 2, divisions. Now, if you don't know what divisions is, basically, it's kind of the class system in World War II. You pick a special division, and it has its own skills and stuff, has its own perks, all that kind of stuff. Kind of like preset perks, pretty much. But you basically just pick your division and go with that. Back in Ghost, we kind of saw this with how they had different characters you could buy, but they all didn't really have different abilities from one another, you know what I mean? So it really wasn't like a divisions type of deal. Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare are probably the closest thing that we can come to divisions without actually playing as divisions, because, you know, each specialist and each character has different specialist abilities, which in turn is kind of like divisions in World War II. I just think because it's so different from what we're used to seeing that I think Treyarch and Infinity Ward will probably implement this in their next games, even though they've already kind of implemented it in their modern games that we are playing right now. I feel like the future holds a lot of possibilities for divisions. But anyway, moving on to the final final thing, which I think will most likely be carried on into Call of Duty's far from now, and that is no KD in War. Now, if you've seen War gameplay and if you've seen someone pull up the scoreboard, there is no kill-death ratio. It is just strictly the players in the game. It doesn't really matter how many deaths or kills you have. What you're trying to do is play the objective, and they push that in such a subtle way by taking away the KD in game. That is just it's incredible to really think about, because if you really think about it, a lot of people play objective-based games for high kill gains. I mean, TDM, you know, that's a KD, you know, you go in there, you try to get as many kills as you can. But in like domination or hardpoint or something, it doesn't matter how many kills or deaths you have. What matters is how many points you're gaining from being in the hardpoint, or how many flags you have captured. You know, it is teamwork which wins these games, and they are really trying to push this on the new game type War in World War II. I've already gone over War in a different video. If you want to go hear my thoughts about it, which I really like it, you can go look at my other, I think it's my last World War II video that I made. You can go check it out. But I really think that if this really actually works for pushing teamwork, I can really see Treyarch and Infinity Ward easily picking this up and putting it in their next installment of Call of Duty. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. These are 3 things which could potentially change the future of Call of Duty permanently. If you really think about it, there are probably a couple more things in World War II that could change Call of Duty as a whole. It's just these 3 things I feel like could have the biggest impact on the whole franchise in the future and everything like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, rate, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Links are down in the description below, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Goodbye.